Welcome to the briefing room. I'm your host, Emmanuel Makome. Today, we focus on the rapidly developing situation in Ukraine, where Ukrainian forces have reportedly pushed Russian troops out of a district in the strategically vital town of Chasiv Yar on the Eastern Front. This victory is a significant achievement for Ukraine amidst ongoing intense combat in the area. The town's high ground makes it a crucial point for both Ukrainian and Russian forces. However, Russia claims to have destroyed multiple communication towers near Chasiv Yar and asserts further territorial gains. Additionally, the Russian military announced successful missile strikes on Ukrainian airfields intended for Western military aircraft, although details remain undisclosed as usual with the Russians. In diplomatic news, Ukraine and the European Union have signed a crucial security pact to ensure long-term support for Kyiv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called on EU leaders to deliver on their promises of military aid, including air defense systems. Lithuania and Estonia have also signed similar agreements with Ukraine, strengthening the coalition. This pact underscores the EU's commitment to supporting Ukraine amidst the ongoing conflict. Zelensky emphasized the importance of these agreements in enhancing Ukraine's defensive capabilities against Russian aggression. In France, Jordan Bardella, a key figure from the far-right National Rally, has voiced opposition sending long-range missiles to Ukraine, fearing it could entangle France in a direct conflict with Russia. With the National Rally leading polls, the upcoming elections could significantly influence France's foreign policy stance. Bardella's position reflects a cautious approach to the conflict, prioritizing national security over external military engagements. The French elections, scheduled for June the 30th and July the 7th, could potentially reshape the country's involvement in the Ukraine conflict. Moving to Asia, South Korea has imposed sanctions on 5 companies and 8 individuals involved in illegal military dealings with North Korea, highlighting the ongoing regional tensions and global efforts to curb North Korean military activities. These sanctions are part of a broader strategy to prevent the proliferation of military technology and maintain regional stability. South Korea's actions demonstrate its commitment to enforcing international norms and curbing North Korea's military ambitions. And in other military news, the Czech Republic is urging more international donors to support its initiatives to supply ammunition to Ukraine. The first batch of 155mm shells has already been delivered, but more contributions are necessary to meet the initiative's goals. President Zelensky stressed the importance of sustained international pressure on Russia to prevent further offensives. The Czech initiative, involving 18 countries, aims to bolster Ukraine's defensive capabilities by ensuring a steady supply of crucial ammunition. Regarding the Russian offensives, their recent push into the city of Kharkiv has given an underscored for continuous military support for Ukraine. Zelensky met with EU leaders to reinforce this commitment, emphasizing the critical nature of fulfilling military aid promises to counter Russian aggression. He highlighted the significance of air defense systems in protecting Ukrainian cities from Russian-guided bombs. The EU and Ukraine security agreement signed in Brussels outlines the comprehensive support in 9 areas, including arms deliveries, military training, defense industry cooperation, and demining operations. With the EU, leaders are committing to increased defense investments over the next 5 years. However, proposals like joint borrowing for common defense funding, suggested by the French President Emmanuel Macron, faces opposition in Germany and other fiscally conservative Western countries. This debate highlights the differing approaches within the EU regarding the collective defense funding and resource allocation when it comes to Ukraine. The EU's chief diplomat, Joseph Borrell, emphasized the need for increased defense spending to recover from past underinvestment. And on the battlefield, it seems Ukraine's general staff reported significant clashes in Tokets, Podvosk, and Koruhave. With extensive shelling and drone attacks from Russian forces, Ukrainian troops successfully repelled several Russian attacks near Chasiv Yar, holding their defensive positions. These ongoing clashes illustrate the intensity of the conflict and the resilience of Ukrainian forces in defending their territory and their nation. Ukrainian military reports indicated heavy shelling and drone attacks, highlighting the continuous threats posed by Russian forces. Meanwhile, the Russian Navy conducted drills in the Mediterranean Sea, focusing on defending against drone attacks by simulating engagements with enemy vessels. As we remember last year, one of their prized vessels was sunk by a Ukrainian missile. So these drills, which include scenarios involving mass drone attacks, enemy vessels engagements, and submarine detection shows Russia's naval capabilities and is trying to deter Ukraine by showing them that they actually have the force to actually deter any attacks. Lastly, we turn to Ukraine's internal challenges. The war has strained the country's democratic progress, with elections postponed and media freedoms restricted under martial law. Despite these setbacks, figures like Yeho Sobilev, a former activist turned soldier, remains hopeful about Ukraine's democratic future post-victory. Sobolyev's story exemplifies the tension between wartime unity and democratic ideals as Ukraine navigates the complexities of preserving democracy while defending against external threats. Ukraine's path to a Western-style democracy faces significant hurdles as the commitment to democratic principles remains strong. And that's all for today's briefing. Stay tuned for more updates and in-depth analysis tomorrow. Thanks for listening to the Briefing Room. I'm your host, Emmanuel Makome, signing off.